An authentic video nasty from the 1980s and a solid entry in queer cinema. This is my review of Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. My name's Devin, I'm Cinema Cultist, and I give this 3.5 stars. Also titled Night Warning, this is brought to us by Severin Films and is one of the officially banned video nasties that were banned by censors in the 1980s, despite it carrying a 93% on RottenTomatoes and also being featured on Turner Classic Movies. This is a modern story, an Oedipus horror tale with all gas, no brakes, and some super problematic content. So I'm going to start off with a series of trigger warnings. Unsurprising for a movie that was officially labeled by the government as obscene, this features violence, sexual assault, physical assault, homophobia, anti-LGBTQ violence, as well as incest themes and all the things you come to know from a slasher film. The anti-queer content is particularly heavy, and it's really hard to stomach at times, where one character, a homophobic and blindly bigoted cop, freely debases queers as deviants, sexual predators, and the like, and becomes so blinded by his homophobia that he misses the actual culprit and goes directly after the queer characters on film. One thing I have to say, though, is that the film does not adopt this character's viewpoint, and in fact, the character exists to point out so much of the homophobia that the police brought to bear on queer and gay cultures, especially in the 1980s. And in order to show that, you have to have a virulently homophobic police character in order to show how the police demonized innocent homosexuals. And so, while this character is hard as heck to stomach, he's nonetheless necessary in order to comment on the real-life existence of that kind of homophobic character. Here's the son of a bitch himself. Look at him. I mean, this is exactly who you expect him to be. The contrast to this character is the positive depiction of a gay basketball coach who is both sympathetic and innocent and transparent about his homosexuality, even in front of a raging and violent homophobe. Coming out in 1981, this was apparently one of the very first positive depictions of a homosexual character in film history, and was one of the main reasons why the film was labeled as obscene. Nonetheless, in the history of queer cinema, this character, the fact that he is simply gay and is treated horrifyingly because of it, is one of the most important features of this movie. Now, what the heck is the film about? It starts off with an orphan-making stunt that leaves behind a young boy with his aunt. That stunt is the granddaddy of a logging truck stunt later iconically featured in Final Destination 2. If you know, you know. And so this movie starts off quick and only accelerates from there. The lead actress Tyrell as the creepy aunt is weird and creepy and homicidally horny, just like the villain from Pearl, if you saw that a couple of years ago. She'd like her. She controls, objectifies, and tries to possess her nephew. She also kills and drugs and screams and stabs. She's all the hallmarks of a Looney Tune, and it only gets worse as the revelations come out. If you liked Kathy Bates in Misery, she clearly watched Tyrell in this role and emulated a lot of it. The rest of the acting is also good, and I think this stands on its own as a thriller and a slasher even before you get to its importance in queer cinema and for its depiction of cop violence against queers. I give this movie 3.5 stars. I would recommend you watch it. It's out now on Blu-ray from Severin and available to stream in most places. My name's Devin. I'm Cinema Cultist. Join the cult for more reviews just like this one and many more to come.